Hi, welcome. We're here with Max Ferocity, or Rachel. We'll just call you Max today, I guess. And we are doing a recap of the recent cosplay competition held at the US Nationals. Hasn't been too much out there, so we thought we'd get on the ball and get this video done so that you can actually see what happened. We have a lot of photos from the community, a lot from Carolina and Bobble Waffle. I'm forgetting her.
Deb. Yeah.
Deb. So there are a lot of their photos will feature and when we go into talking about the cosplays. Do you want to give a brief overview of how the event went down, or you could even talk about did you do nationals this year or?
Yeah, no, so the event was a ton of fun as always and really packed, both in schedule and amount of people. For those that don't know, I know not everybody's like in the US or at US Nationals. The US Nationals every year is probably close to being on par size-wise with like a Pro Tour level event as far as just the amount of players and amount of events going on there. So it was really fun. We were definitely squeezed in this year. We were in a smaller room than 23, and I think we had more people if I had to guess. So it was a packed event in all ways, but everybody had a really good time. I did not personally play in Nationals. I haven't gone out for RTNs the last 2 years. I played the first 2 Nationals for US, and it just was too much to do with cosplay. Like trying to, like if you make day 2, and I did in mine, it was just almost impossible to like day 2 and do all the cosplay activities for the contest as they got more and more intense and structured. And so I kind of had to pick a lane there. But I did a ton of side events, had a lot of fun, cracked a lot of packs, and played a lot of Blitz.
Yeah, and we got quite a few competitors this year, considering how much lead time we had for it. So that's great.
Yeah, it was pretty tight this year. So I think we had heard in the community that there would be a contest kind of through the back channels and asking people, but most people didn't know that. And it wasn't exactly advertised, unfortunately, that there was a contest at Nationals this year. So to give you some context and the viewers some context, the first US Nationals that I competed in was, I think, actually the biggest contest ever held, or pretty close to it, like all time. And it was 22 people, I think. And then like last year was still pretty well populated. I want to say it was like maybe 16, something like that. And then this year we had like no lead time, no real public announcements, but we still had 12 people enter, 1 drop to judge, and we'll talk about that. But it's still a lot of people for, people not even realizing. A lot of people didn't even realize there was a contest. They just showed up because they wanted to.
Yeah. All right. Shall we lead into the video that I've kind of made for us? So Las Vegas. We will pause there. So 13 cosplayers. I did include the judges in this, but it's quite a nice photo and with the wide range of everybody there, which is quite nice. So we'll just get to the next one, which is about the judges. So there we go. So as you had alluded, we knew that Carolina was our judge, but Elaine dropped to be a judge. But I think we all seen Carolina's beautiful costume before, and it's very nice. But it'd be nice to talk about Elaine's costume as Shiana. She did a really good job, I feel, with the corset and stuff. There's always so many details in that picture that it was like, how do you highlight which ones?
Yeah, it was really great of her to, a really like selfless thing for her to drop and judge. Really appreciated that. I've had to do that before, and I know the struggle to make that decision as a competitor when you're already there with your costume packed. You put all this time in, and you're like, oh God, if I don't drop, who's going to judge? Because of the timing on this, I think they never really got judge applications out there, so they kind of needed somebody last minute, and Elaine took the hit, so to speak, on that. So we appreciate it. Her costume was beautiful. I remember talking to her about this costume when I was on the pitch pod. maybe it was a couple of weeks back, and she was working on it. And a lot of that is actually thrifted, if not all of it, or most of it actually is thrifted, as in the fabrics. She went out and she used thrifted materials and took them apart and like created that, which I thought was really, really cool. I don't remember, I hope I don't misstate this, but I feel like we were talking about like finding curtains and different things, or like skirts to like tear apart.
I feel like there was curtains mentioned in that podcast, because I think
yeah. So she just did an awesome job with that, you know, like, and just really going to show like what you can do really on any budget too, or any timeline, because she did this pretty quickly. So very impressive, you know, with the materials and the time, and awesome job.
Yeah, so beautiful work from our judges, and we're very much appreciative for them spending their time judging us. So these are all in no particular order. So this is Victor Goldmain. So there was a couple of Victors. So this guy, there's a lot of detail on the front of this costume, which I felt was quite nice. Unfortunately, I don't have any shots of the back, but what was it like to see in real life?
Honestly, really, really impressive. So Tom, I actually met before, like the day before the contest. We were both playing side events, and he had been talking, I think, to Carolina about it. And we got chatting as we were both like, I think, sitting like two seats down from each other, and like maybe it was a Blitz event or something. And he told me he was I think his first time cosplaying, and he was very excited for the next day. And I was like, I want to see, what are you cosplaying? Like, show me your pictures on your phone. So I was looking at those. And so the next day was really cool to see it in person. Like, I'm so impressed, especially given that this is like his first foray into cosplay. Yeah. Like, I know it's hard to tell from here, but like as a crafting geek, just the level of craftsmanship put in this was really impressive. Like, just such clean seaming and patterning that went into making this. It's just very, very impressive to see up close. Like, it's still impressive here in photo, but just like Carolina pulled me over and we're trying not to like fondle his clothes. I'm not judging. This was after the contest, but she knows as a many-time judge and, you know, a craftsmanship geek that I'd want to see it. So we were sitting there kind of going over everything. And he was just such a cool and nice person. I don't know. Do we want to spoiler like winning things now?
Oh, we'll get to there.
We'll get to okay. I will teaser spoilers. Yeah.
As to note, there wasn't any performance part given out this time. Yeah.
No, sadly, we didn't have the performance category, and part of that was, I think, timing, but other part of it was there was no stage. So I mentioned, I think at the beginning of this video, that we were very packed in there. It was a very small room, and so I don't know if it was on purpose or if it just didn't happen for some reason. We didn't get a stage this time around, which was a little bit sad. They did what they could with it, so it was still awesome. We still had a crowd of people, and you could probably hear that in some of the videos Deb's put out there thus far. But yeah, we didn't have the stage for performance, so that was a little sad.
Yeah, so we've got Channel the Millennium Tree. This is, I think, a new cosplayer. I don't think he's done one before, or whatever he's done. I've not seen his face properly.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm sad. I don't think I got to interact with Thomas, you know, during the contest or after the contest, though I did get to kind of hang out next to him and see the costume. It's a really fun costume. I like the take. It's really clever. Yeah, like take on Channel the Millennium Tree, and then like his wood graining he did there. So he's got a future in some like woodworking and furniture refinishing going on here. So
yeah, it looks pretty impressive, and you can kind of feel that it's the Millennium Tree, and I think that's great. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
All right, so next we have another Victor Goldmain. I think we've seen this guy before.
Yeah, Scott's been around before, and I can't remember if it was in this costume or another one, but I feel like I've seen it. But yeah, I wish like the picture showed it from the side, because he has, you know, the Victor's weapon here, and it's really cool. It has like the lion's face on the side of it, so we can't really see from these angles of pictures from the action shot here, but he does have on the side of it like the details, the decorations, little carvings that you can see there, which is really cool to see, having that additional prop. And then you can see he's got like his little belt, I guess you call it like emblem there, or buckle, which is really cool detail.
Yeah, I love me a good prop.
Who doesn't? It really helps those of us that can't pose like me. It gives you something to do with your hands. For any of you out there who are ever thinking of cosplay, you're like, I'm that kind of person that doesn't know what do I do with my hands when I'm on stage. Do a prop. It'll help.
Your hands are always busy.
Exactly.
All right. So this one's very cool. I like the addition of the mask with it, and I was very pleased I was able to get back shots because that's also a really important part of this costume that's very well worked.
Yeah, so Morgan, I know a lot of cosplayers who are on our Discord will know, was sharing the construction of this with us as she went along, which is really cool to see. We don't always get to see that. I know I'm really bad about taking pictures and sharing them, and I'm also just really secretive, so I don't. But it was really cool to see her process as she went through this. And actually, that mask she made a very, very long time ago. That was one of her first things that she made. For Flesh and Blood way back in the day. So it's cool to see the callback to that, kind of like some cosplay history behind the scenes here. So details to note on this, because clearly we've seen it as it's been going along, and we're buds. So I talked to her behind the scenes and I saw her there, and some things to note, like just the applique here is all hand cut, satin stitched on, just from a geekery perspective on construction. Very nice job. I was actually asking her just about some of the small details, like her collar up here, her Mandarin style collar that she had. Very, very cool. It's so, even just the smallest detail was very impressive. And so I was asking her, I said, hey, can I hear more about that another time, because I want to know how you did that beautiful small piping. You can't even really see it from this picture. Other things to call out here too, especially, was the leather working on the belt, as well as her bracers was really cool. She did some leather tooling on them and some painting to get the black and gold motif, which is really nice. But what's interesting is she did her breastplate up here. I don't know what you call it, like a vest breastplate, but that was actually in foam, but she painted it with similar type leather paint to bring it out and make it look like the same material. So it's very cohesive, and all those little details, all these little buckle details, little I don't know, accessories, I guess you'd call them, are all, I believe, silicone, or silicone and a combination of resin, depending on where they're at on the body. Really cool. So she did some hand forming with clay, and then molding that, and then casting that, which is really cool detailing all over. We can't see her boots. Maybe, I don't know if there's pictures later with them, but this continues on down her boots, and she did those out of silicone so they would move and bend with her, which is a really cool idea.
So who have we got next? So we have this one. Now, I'm a big fan of this kind of costume. You can pretty much, no one will know who you are.
Yeah, I do love putting helmets on myself. So.
Yeah. Rahil?
Rahil, yeah.
Rahil, yeah. So this is Jarl, and I'm sure people are very pleased to see them in the cosplay and not across the table.
Yeah, not my favorite hero to play against, but then again, I have a thing against ice. Anytime somebody stops me from doing what I want to do, I'm not a big fan. But yeah, no, Rahil did this. Got a little bit of mixed media here, so some 3D printing on the helmet. There's also a weapon. I'm not sure why Rahil didn't hold it in any of the photos I've seen, so I'm not sure what was going on there. I know, I think I don't know if Steny was with him, but was walking around with it. So I got to see whatever that pole arm is. I always forget the name of it. Stalagmite's the shield. I feel bad for not remembering the name of the weapon for Jarl. My husband's probably yelling from downstairs because he's a big Jarl main. So he had that, but you don't see it in the photos. And then the rest of the costume was foam. I think then what else is there? He had some
I'm very pleased that we could see the shield from the side there, because sometimes we get those details because we don't get enough angled shots. So this is quite a nice mix of photos.
Whoever got these, I'm guessing these might be Deb's photos. Got some good shots.
Yeah, so I think it's a mix of Deb's and Carolina's. And the light work looked quite impressive too. So that's on the gauntlet, or is it on the body?
He's got some fairy lights, I think they are, wrapped around his hand, or his gauntlet.
Yeah. And so did he do mail? Mail takes a long time.
Yeah, I believe he did some mail on this. It's hard to see from here. I think you can see on the middle one better. You can see it from the back a little bit too, depending on the shot and the angle of it. So he has some mail on there. I'm not sure 4-in-1. I didn't get a good look at it.
So a lot of different techniques used in this one, which is quite good. And the ability to hide behind a mask.
Incognito.
All right, and then we've got this one, which is another Syndra. This is the adult Syndra, and it looks really cool. I quite like the dagger that she's made there. So we had Megan doing this one.
Yeah, Megan did an amazing job on this. I love this. We got talking for a while there. We're going back and forth while because we were like at the end of the lineup to do our walks. So we had quite a bit of time. We were like chatting, getting distracted, trying not to miss our walks, talking about different details on both of our costumes and sharing tips and tricks. And she did a really lovely job at this. I think from the center, you can kind of see in the center photo, but that her pauldron, which is like a dragon's head, is just absolutely gorgeous. That eye glows. All the little daggers that she has going, the kunai, all glow or have like a center glowing piece. And she actually, it's hard to see from these photos. I think you can see it on this left one here. She had the daggers mounted. So it kind of looks like the art where they're like coming up out and around her, which I thought was a really, really cool touch. You kind of see them coming out from the side, but she's kind of got her arms on that photo. So it's a little harder to see there. But, she just did a really, really lovely job on this. I was very impressed. What else can I say about it too? I want to say, and I don't think I heard this directly from her, but from somebody else, that the detailing you see on this, the gold detailing on the robing is, I think, I can't remember if it's vinyl or applique, but either way, she had done it like her own like hand drafting of that and drawing and sketching that out based exactly on the art. So that was really cool to see as well. And her wig was so fun. Like I envy anybody that can do wig work. I suck at wigs.
I know.
Like, there's a reason I have a background on right now, besides like my room being a freaking holy mess. It's because there's a wig on a stand behind me for something that I'm working on that I'm not chatting about yet, but it just looks like an unholy mess of a wig right now. Like, nobody needs to see the wreck that's going on back there, but she did just
much appreciation for that work. Yeah. All right. What's next? I think. Yes, it's you.
It's me. Yeah. No, so this is
this is a second wear, obviously, because when you had entered it originally, you were gracious enough to drop and judge. So I'm really pleased that you're able to bring this to a contest, and we're able to see a bit more of it. I believe there was some fixing to do, unfortunately.
a lot of rework, actually. So I think to the naked eye, or to people that don't have like the before and after next to it, it looks like a lot of the same costume, but it's extremely different, actually. So all of that silver trim, with the exception of the breast trim, was pulled off and thrown out and redone. I didn't like the way it was done previously, so I did it all carved again, just to make it cleaner. And then all of the purple paint on it is completely redone. I taped off everything, mixed up new paint. I wanted it to be closer to the art, like that darker plum color. And then I did a bunch of aging all over it that I didn't get to do before, like a lot of oil paint aging. And the staff actually was broken in 3 places, more than that. But the moon itself was like broken and shattered. It took a stage dive in Osaka. While I was judging, I handed it to somebody who, was trying to help and appreciate it, but I went to go set it down, and the moon just popped out of its socket because it's like Velcro. And whoop, right off the stage. So I probably put about 80 to 100 hours in redoing this in about 2 weeks, just to get her back in shape. Big pain in the butt.
Well, you looked amazing, and thank you for that little bit of insight.
It was good times. It's just cosplay things, we all know how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So next we have Spring Tunic. So Spring Tunic, I think, must be our most cosplayed item. And every time it's brought, someone brings a different aspect of it, and she wears it. It's almost like seeing a new thing, which is really lovely.
Yeah, Amanda did an incredible job on this. I met her, I believe it was at Memphis, that I had been playing her at the side events, and she was asking me about cosplay, and we were talking about it. So I don't know if this is her first time cosplaying in general. I can't recall from our conversations if it's the first time, but it's definitely her first time for Fab, and just a stunning job on this. I like her interpretation with the pants on it.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
such a cute interpretation, and it's so clean. She did such a nice job here that's why I'm
yeah.
saying I'm not sure if it's her first cosplay because like it's so good. Like
Mm.
I don't know, but she just did a really, really pretty job.
Beautiful. So next, it's really nice that we're still getting all these new cosplayers. Oh, but this is one that I know very well. This is Diana's Florian. She's been working on this for a long time because I think she did each one of those leaves individually.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure exactly. I thought maybe she had done like they were like strips of them, but I remember she flipped up her hem to show me. We were talking after the contest, me, her, and Dex, and she's like, "Hey, I want to show like my seaming line." She had like it looked like almost like quilting on the back because of the way they had them
Yeah.
sewn on, and it was kind of funny because she goes like lifts up her skirt. I'm like, "You flashing me, Dan?" I was like, "Is that just so you could like cool off there?" And she's like, "No, no, like this is what's going on in the back."
That's really cool. Yeah, I think doing it in layers would be the easiest way, almost like doing a wig,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think it's an amazing. There's a lot of work in there, and even the makeup that she's done kind of brings the kind of feel of the character. I always struggle with makeup myself, so
Oh, same. Trust me. I literally am begging a friend right now, phoning a friend for the next event that I'm going to be doing and saying, I need makeup help, please. So somebody's going to be doing my makeup for Singapore. I can tell you that.
nice, nice. Oh, there we go. All right, pause that.
Speak of the devil, it's Dex.
It's Dex, and I thought this looked amazing. The lighting in there, I didn't realize it was lighting until I saw more pictures.
Mhm.
The initial pictures just looked like it was very white, but then more pictures kind of brought in that, and the mask work looks amazing. And he even had the other masks there. I don't think I fully got those, but yeah, it's just really cool. And it's something a bit different with we're used to seeing the brute love from Dex. So anything that you can
Yeah,
talk
so more of a funny story than anything. So I didn't realize it was Dex until well after the contest, until I had been talking to him for a couple of minutes. Like my mind was not registering. I've been very out of it and tired anyway. But we were sitting
Yeah,
there chatting, and I'm like, Dex, is that you? And he's like, yes, it's me. And, and then he kind of laughed, and I laughed because he hadn't taken off his mask like the whole day.
yeah.
And so I didn't realize it was him, even though, but like that's understandable if I hadn't been talking. But I'm sitting there talking to him, and Dex, like your friend's voice. Like,
Yeah.
it's really funny that I just didn't realize, and I just said, my mind didn't register because you always do brute things. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so when I got there, I thought Dex had like missed the contest because I'm like,
yeah.
where is
There's no
Dex?
brute.
Like,
There's no
yeah,
brute.
there's no brute, So it didn't even occur to me because as he was doing his stage walk, I can't hear from where we're at because we didn't have like the big stage setting. So I
Yeah,
couldn't hear who they were announcing. So I didn't hear it was him. And then the other thing I laughed at, was like a funny story. So he has this like big like beach umbrella or whatever that thing is, like a patio umbrella.
Mhm.
That's the base for that. And so I was asking about like the blades and how he did them. And he was like, yeah, so originally I made X number of blades, and then I upgraded the umbrella and realized I didn't have enough. So he had to like
Yeah,
last minute make a bunch more blades because he went like upgrade on. It's pretty
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So always a good time having these funny cosplay exchanges.
Yeah. That's the beauty of cosplay. You can be a different face every time. I think this is a new face also.
Yeah.
Alex with Katsu the Wanderer. I think that she has fully embodied the Katsu. So was her did she make her own kadachis?
I actually don't know. I didn't get a chance to really talk to. It's funny. I talked to Alex a couple times this weekend, but not like during or after the contest. We said hi briefly, but there's a lot going on. I actually didn't get a chance to ask about them. I don't know, but she
Or
really
what were
overall.
they made of?
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I could tell you.
Yeah.
But overall, just like the costume is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the fabric. Just such a beautiful fabric choice. Very breezy and just feels so like natural. Like a
Yeah.
natural woven cloth, like you would see or expect to see on Katsu. So I really like that because so many times, like people don't realize that aren't cosplayers, you know, like fabric choice is just such like a big deal, you know, like
Oh,
what you
it is a big
choose just
deal.
makes such a difference. And so I really liked that.
What's one on what it looks like, and two on how you do not overheat, because some costume fabrics can overheat you completely.
Oh, trust me, I know. My friend Holly, who you know is Melody from London, helped me get in and out of my costume. When we got back to the room, she said, "Rachel, I love you, but like I'm not touching your hair. It's disgusting right now." I had taken my wig off and I was sweating buckets. I could smell myself, you know. She was like marinating in it, and she's like, "Yeah, everything is gross and sweaty." I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry."
I think we're going in here to our winners now. Let's see. Yes, we are. So we alluded to this earlier as the rookie. Tom did really well. As you said, he did really good scene work and so forth. And anything else you would like to add about this brilliant rookie?
Just an awesome job, Tom. And I know we're going to see more from you. He was already talking about like coming up to us afterwards, like, how can I get more involved in the community? I want to do another one, kind of telling us his thoughts on what he wanted to do on the next one, which we'll obviously keep a secret because we always keep our cosplay secrets when people trust us with them. But very much looking forward to the next thing that he brings to the table. And he's looking forward to it too.
I believe he has appeared in the Discord too, yes?
Yep. He has made his guest appearance, his debut. This is a debutante of the cosplay Discord. Welcome, Tom.
And here is our craftsmanship winner. So Morgan did a brilliant job. So with that mask that she had brought back from a previous, I like to see things brought back again. And as you said, the different mediums that she used would have helped towards her craftsmanship.
Yeah, you know, there was really, honestly, I'll say no surprise here on this one. I think going into the day, I even joked with somebody, I go, there's only one other tailor besides rookie up for grabs right now because Morgan's already got this. I don't even have to see anything.
Yeah.
Morgan just did a smash up job and really detailed that to the rest of us. So I really no surprise here. Good job, Morgan.
And last but not least, we have the actor. So I feel like all the things that you redid would have brought more to the accuracy, changing up the colors, bringing in all those things. And I mean, it is the card fully. So congratulations. It's well earned.
Thank you.
Worked hard on that.
On the way into the hall, it was funny. Somebody stopped us. And this gentleman goes, what's your cosplay? Like, and I told him, and he goes, oh, I see it now. Because most people have never seen the EA, you know? So like they see like here, the chest.
Yeah, I've never seen
like,
but yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, oh my God, it is. And he goes, I can't believe somebody put that much effort into a chest piece. I was laughing. And I said, well, then you got to go look up the EA because she's freaking stunning, you know? But I actually had a couple of gentlemen come up to me when I was there and asked me to take pictures with their EA. Like a lot of Runeblade fans. They're like, can you hold my EA or stand next to me while I hold it? I'm like, okay, of course. Yeah.
So that's all of our winners, and thank you everybody for watching. I'll just take this away. Any last minute thoughts or anything that you think for the future kind of welcome?
No, I think what was really fun this time was running into people who it was their first cosplay that I had talked to at previous events or had talked to myself or Carolina or some other cosplayer in the community, and, you know, expressed wanting to get into this, seeing them follow through and join in. And I did tell, like, at Nats, I ran into even more people that I played with at the tables that recognized me and were like, hey, you know, I'm thinking about getting into cosplay. I'm like, well, you probably will, because this happens every time I go to an event. Like somebody's like, how do I get into this? So you know, hopefully for anyone out there that I talked to when I was playing, you do end up, you know, bringing it in the future, and we get to see you joining us out there too. So at this point, I'm just working hard and looking forward to, I don't know, what is it, 4-ish weeks away till Singapore, and just, you know, have to blitz out a costume, and I'm really excited. But so we'll see the next big event, how many we get, and if it's the biggest contest yet, hopefully.
hopefully. And also thank you everybody for joining us for this recap. Please get along and like, follow, subscribe to this channel, and we'll continue to do these recaps as much as we can from the community to the community. So get along, follow Max on Blue Sky. You're under Max.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of everything. I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. It's always the same, Max Ferocity. So
yeah,
see you guys around there.
Fabled Hero and Z on everything. And also we will be putting the links to Deb's Blue Sky for any extra bits and pieces. She's got little videos that she's possibly going to put up on Blue Sky that she's been sharing with the community. And I'm not sure if Carolina's sharing hers or whether they're going to appear with the official Flesh and Blood page. I'm not sure what's happening there, but we will definitely share the links when we have them. So thank you, everybody, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.